actually, you don't have to turn around. That's the beauty of this. All of you can watch the screen if you want, or you can turn around. That's fine. I'm just going to remind you that when your mic is on, the camera's on you and the people around you. If you press that button while somebody else is speaking, then it'll pan to you and we'll miss what the person's saying. So it's really important that when somebody's on screen or on the mic, that we keep it on them. Everybody okay with that? Yeah. Super. We do have to share mics in the chamber. We don't all have one each, so I'm sure you'll do that brilliantly. Okay. Well, you're very welcome to Monmouthshire County Hall. This is the heart of the political and administrative work that goes on in the county that you live and that you learn in. My name's Sarah. I'm Sarah McGuinness, and my job title is Chief Officer for Children and Young People. So I'm the Statutory Director of Education for the county. So I make sure, basically, that what's going on in schools is what should be going on in schools, and in nurseries and in other settings as well. So I meet with your head teachers and lots of your governors and some of your teachers quite regularly to find out what's happening in your schools, to see what we can do to help your schools. You're here to debate, which is really fascinating. You'll know by now that this is the chamber, this is the council chamber, and this is the room that's at the heart of the council where really all the big decisions are made. The decisions that are made in this room affect everybody that lives and learns in this county. But before any decision is made, it goes through many, many different hoops, really, series of checks and rechecks before it reaches here. And often, then, a debate is held in this room, leading to a vote, and where a motion's been brought forward. It's a pretty serious room, is basically what we're talking about. As council chambers go, if you go and visit some other councils, this is one of the least scary, frankly, because this is quite a nice one. This feels a bit more like a lecture theatre, doesn't it? Have you ever been to a college or a university or somewhere where there's a museum where there's a lecture theatre? It's a bit like that. And we're all quite close in here, close to each other, because it's quite small. But nevertheless, it is a very serious room. Debates that happen in here are very structured arguments. They don't just take off. Usually, well, we should always know what's coming up in the debates that happen in this chamber. But it's not quite like arguments you might have at home with your family or your friends, because the subject's always pre-arranged, a bit like your subject today. It's a topic, really. And then the debate happens between individuals in here. But the difference in here is that the individuals that sit here, usually they sit over there. They represent political parties. And so the Conservative Party in Monmouthshire will sit this side of the chamber, and then the Labour Party will sit over that side of the chamber, and then the independent representatives tend to sit sort of in the middle at the back of the chamber. And everybody in the room has a say, but when they have to have that say, that has to go through the chair. So the chair sits right at the middle at the top table here, and usually around the chair are the chief executive of the council, who provides support to the chair, and the vice chair, and so on. So lots of important people. But nothing happens in here in terms of conversation without it going through the chair. And it's the chair's job to keep control when things get a bit hairy. And trust me, sometimes they do. Sometimes the chair has to say, even to politicians, sit down. It happens here too, just like school. So you have to keep people in order. You're skilled debaters, I know that. I'm not going to go on much longer because we're here to listen to you. But your argument today has to be really convincing. You'll know that as part of a debating team, you might not always agree entirely with everything that's being said on your team. Nevertheless, you've got to be convincing to win the argument, haven't you? Because just like a coin, there's always at least two sides to an argument, if not more. Your choice of topic is fascinating. I'm really looking forward to hearing what you've got to say. I'm not going to say what it is because that's up to you. But I'm fascinated that you've chosen what you've chosen, if indeed you've chosen it, particularly at a political time in our country where things are pretty interesting. So we may indeed have AMs and MPs of the future sitting here, mightn't we? Good luck to every one of you. And let's see what happens next. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Sarah. Just a few thank yous before I introduce everybody and explain a little bit about the Lunchtime Debate Club. Thank you to Sarah McGuinness for those lovely words and for welcoming us to County Hall. The children are so excited, a little nervous, I have to say today, but very excited, so thank you. Thank you also to Louise and Owen Wells, big supporters of the school, and they use their influence to make this happen today, so thank you both. And to Rhian Cook, who's organised all the finer detail for us, thank you. Okay, so the Lunchtime Debate Club started just after Easter, so we haven't been going very long. But when I spoke to the head, I said that I wanted to be ambitious for our primary school children. Debating is usually something that's done in secondary school, but I felt that our pupils at Goetre were more than up to the challenge, and I've been completely bowled over by their enthusiasm. We are a relatively small school, but I've got 22 pupils in my Lunchtime Debate Club, which I think is amazing. And as Sarah said, in this time of apathy and state of flux, really, of politics, it is amazing to me that 22 young people are passionate about debating. So what did we do? Well, we started in the initial weeks with looking at some of the debating skills. So we did some games and some exercises to get the children more confident, speaking in front of others, speaking without hesitation, articulating an argument, and most importantly, probably, listening. Our pupils at Goetre are very good talkers, but we had to do some work on their listening skills. As we develop and as we gain confidence, we will go on to do more sophisticated types of debates where they incorporate and rebut the other side's arguments. But at the moment, we're just sort of finding our feet. So whilst the children have written and prepared everything today, this is the sort of first step, if you like, to debating skills. So I'm really, really proud of them. The children have always chosen their own debates. So the very first mini debates we did were things like the merits of cats versus dogs, the iPad versus books. And as we progressed, it was interesting because the topics got meatier and meatier. And in fact, they did choose today's topic as well for our very first debate, so I was really impressed. I'm very proud of them all. They are nervous, so please bear with us, but we wanted to do something special, especially before our lovely Year 6 pupils leave us next Wednesday. We wanted to mark the end of this term's worth of Debate Club, and it's really exciting for the younger pupils because we've got Years 4, 5 and 6 here. Exciting for the younger pupils to get some enthusiasm and some confidence as well. So without delaying any further, I'll hand over to our esteemed chair, Freya Sainsbury's.
My name is Freya Sainsbury. I am in Year 6 and I'm chairing this, our first ever debate. This debate motion is, this House believes that children should have the right to vote 12 and over. I will now hand it over to Ella.
Hello, my name is Ella Jones and I believe that children should have a say in their future as decisions that are being made will have an impact on us as the younger generation. Many decisions are made for the future and adults don't always make the right decisions. Children have a unique perspective on the world which should be heard and counted, not ignored. Thank you for listening and vote for us.
Thank you, Ella. Now let's hear from Finley.
Hello, my name is Finley Thomas and I'm in Year 5. I believe that the age of 18 is the age of adulthood and the age of legal independence, and only legal adults should have the right to vote. We have to draw the line somewhere. The age of adulthood, by which you can be living by yourself, driving a car, working and so on, is the appropriate age. So vote for us. Vote over.
Thank you, Finley. Now let's hear from Charlotte.
Hello, my name is Charlotte Hamer and I believe that children have the right to vote at the age of 12. If children can vote at 12, they would be more interested in the world around them. Children are encouraged to be more independent and responsible at a younger age, and many are sensible enough to vote. Thank you, and this is what I believe.
Thank you, Charlotte. Now let's hear from Oliver.
Hello, my name is Oliver Edwards, and I am in Year 5. I strongly believe that children of 12 are not old enough to form their own opinion. Children are still living at home. They depend on their parents for everything and are bound to be persuaded to vote the same way as their parents vote. They still go to school. They always listen to their teachers. And as they are still learning, they are bound to be swayed by the teacher's opinion and thoughts. We are always being told that children are like sponges, soaking up thoughts and ideas. They are still finding out what they think and believe. Also, children might feel under pressure to copy what their friends are doing, or even pop stars or sportsmen. Let children be children. There is plenty of time to vote. Wait until you are older, as I strongly believe that you should be 18 to vote. Vote for us.
Thank you, Oliver. Now let's hear from Nia.
I believe that children are intelligent enough to vote. Children would take the task seriously and look into the facts. Because it's about their future, they may be more invested in it than some adults. Children can be very smart and wise, and not all adults are smart and wise. Vote for us.
Thank you, Nia. Now let's hear from Bella.
Hello, my name is Bella Wills, and I believe that children are not intelligent and aware of the world around us to vote at 12. Firstly, these children have only just started comprehensive school and clearly still depend on adults, both at home and in school, for many aspects of life. Getting to school and clubs, looking after us, and of course, teaching us. Children do not have an understanding of politics and important political issues, having not learned enough through their education or by life experience at 12 years old. Whilst we may understand or have an idea of world problems, we don't necessarily understand how politics can affect them and other daily issues, transport, health, hospitals and education. Another important point, many adults do not understand the complexities of the voting system. They may not understand or have learnt differences between the types of politicians and their beliefs, so how can they make an educated judgment? So if adults can't understand, how can children? Children are not able to vote at 12 for these reasons. At 18, you are more independent and are fully developed. You may be working, travelling, living independently, having children and getting married. Children's brains aren't fully developed at 12, and they are children. Children should not have an important decision to make at that age. Children should play, have fun and enjoy their childhood. Thank you. Please vote for us.
Thank you, Bella. Now let's hear from Karen.
Hello, my name is Karen Ford and I'm in Year 4. I believe that MPs represent the interests of children in Parliament. Decisions are being made for us and about us. So if MPs are supposed to represent areas of the country, this must include children. Why should MPs care about needs and wishes of children if they have no ability to vote for or against them?
Thank you, Karen. Now let's hear from Cariad.
Hello, my name is Cariad Kearney and I am in Year 6. I strongly believe that MPs already represent the children and families in the UK. In conclusion, we must trust mature and knowledgeable adults to vote on behalf of children under 18 to consider their future, and that MPs that are elected to represent the needs and views of all humankind of this country, and vote for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Cariad. Now let's hear from Joey.
I'm Joey Lane, Year 5. I believe that MPs could easily respond to even bribing or buying the youth. Vote with progress and politicians. or things which will have an impact only on children. Children are not mature enough to see through this, and this would not be a good thing for politics and or voting streams.
Thank you, Joey. Now let's hear from Seren.
Hello, my name is Sarah and I am in Year 4. And I believe that by lowering the right to vote age, there'll be a bigger turnout and represent more of the country. Many people are so disillusioned with politics, and so getting them involved at a young age might help. Habits formed early in life are most likely to stick. Voting is important, and most adults don't vote. You'll feel like your voice is being heard rather than being ignored by politicians. I also believe that children are important and we need more people to vote, so vote for us.
Thank you, Seren. Now let's hear from Megan.
How do you turn it on?
My name is Megan Welford and I'm in Year 5, and I believe that children at the age of 12 are still living with their parents and don't have to worry or aren't interested in important issues. They don't pay taxes, work, pay bills and so are unaffected by the main issues the politicians campaign about. They are more likely to be only interested in a single issue such as the environment and not be well informed about more general issues. Thank you. Vote for us.
Thank you, Megan. We have heard from all of our speakers. We are happy to take any questions or comments from the floor.
Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, well, I think we'll go straight to a vote then, Freya.
Thank you. Now let's vote. Let me remind you of the motion. This House believes that children should have the right to vote at 12. All those who agree, raise their hands.
Okay.
All those who disagree, raise their hands.
Okay, so
Thank you.
Yes, it's carried. The motion is denied. So there's more votes for the opposition.
The motion is denied. More votes for the opposition team. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody.
I'll say something from here then, since I'm sitting down now. Well, my goodness, I'm telling you what, Freya, look out, Speaker of the House of Commons, I say. I tell you what, I think Theresa May is going to be looking for a new one. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a female, the way she's going. Ella, to the point, opened it brilliantly. Finlay, can see you, future Minister of Justice there. Charlotte, all debates need a smile, and you provided the first one. Well done. Has your sister just done something amazing? Yes, it's you. Right. Oliver, you've got all that it takes to be a politician. Absolutely, it's all there. Hook, line and sinker. Nia, very clear and to the point. I'm going to make sure I'm looking in the right direction. Well, I tell you what, that was like a quiet missile coming in there. You know, I really listened to you. Bella, when you spoke, I wasn't looking at you, but you've got a presence that commands the room. So use that. And you said if adults haven't grasped the voting system, how can children? Well, I think that was a really interesting point, wasn't it? All of you have made some superb points, actually. But you also made the point of advocating the right to have a childhood, which was interesting. Karen, are you really in Year 4? Honest. I want proof. Honestly. All I've written is Year 4. I can't believe it. You talked about MPs representing children, and so they should. Cariad, you put your faith in MPs. I hope we can. I really do. Joey, what a mature response. Wonderful. You've got the command of the room as well. Seren, Year 4 again? Seriously? My goodness, I love the fact that you mentioned that we can form habits young and then we stick to them. That doesn't just go for politics, does it? It goes for everything, and that's good in our lives. And Megan, you mentioned that children are really only interested in single issues. I'm not sure if that's the case or not. I am no longer a child. but it was a very, very interesting point. You've got an amazing debating team. I suggest you've probably got an amazing year 6 coming up and an amazing year 5 coming up. And those of you that are in year 6, I wish you the very best on transition, because wherever you're going, look out, I say. They've got some superb speakers coming their way. Goetre, you're the first to have come to do this in County Hall. I hope you're not the last, but I certainly hope you come and do it again, and you light the path now for other schools and their debating societies, because you're never too young to start. Congratulations, all of you. Well done.
Yes.